have it nailed down. I'm here to share my picks for 8th grade homeschool curriculum for the 2025-2026 school year. My name is Trisha. I am at Box Homeschool on Instagram and YouTube, and we are going into our 12th year of homeschooling, which is just wild. I did not expect to be doing this for so long, and it was really like a trial run. Let's see how it goes, but we've been enjoying it so much, and so much to the point that I started sharing our homeschool journey online in 2020. And that in itself has been an experience, just being able to connect with so many other homeschoolers and hearing just so many relatable challenges and obstacles and struggles that we've had in our homeschooling / parenting, because they really are so intertwined. And now thinking about having an 8th grade son is even more crazy. The fact that we've homeschooled him this long, he is probably the one that I am the most different from as far as learning style. So choosing curriculum for him has always made me pause, and it would just take the longest to pick, especially in his elementary years. He's the one who introduced me to so many other curriculum because I couldn't just copy and paste what I did with my oldest child. It wouldn't work that way. So that journey has been a blessing because it's introduced me to so much more and really opened my eyes up to living books and literature-based learning, and even Charlotte Mason's Principles of Education. I really feel God has brought that around to us through my research for my son. Now things are a little bit different. Not only has he grown and matured a lot, it was more about finding things that would help him to learn foundational skills like reading and writing. And now that he has those basic skills under his belt, it's a lot easier to pick curriculum for him, and things are just a lot smoother in general. But for a time, my job was just doing a bunch of research and trying to understand what works well for him and what would really spark his interest. And so now that we kind of understand how he operates, what works best for him, it's been a lot easier. And my 2 younger ones are actually using a lot of the same curriculum. So let's get into it. This is 8th grade for this next year. All my kids are going to be using the Not Consumed set, the Faithfulness series, and the first one is more like Jesus, a study on the book of Luke. And so we're just going to roll through these studies. There's about 5 altogether, I think, in the box. So we're going to roll through those throughout the year and just see how far we get. We will probably finish this one this summer and then move on to the next book right after that. Let me start with math. He took a pre-algebra course through High School Math Live, and he's just going to move right into pre-algebra with the same company. I feel like he really gained a solid foundation in pre-algebra skills. And pre-algebra, what I've discovered, is very similar to the pre-algebra course. It just moves slower and they cover less topics. So he's already going to have a little advantage going into pre-algebra, which is great. I just want his confidence to grow in math and for him to feel very comfortable and not afraid of a math class. So that is a live online course twice a week, and they assign homework and they have quizzes and tests. And I really appreciate the preparation that is offered there, leading him into high school. For language arts, he is going to continue on with IEW. He's going to do Fix It Grammar level 5, and he's also going to do an online IEW course, SSS 3B. Pretty sure that's what it is. Just kind of moving along in the sequence. So this is the Frog Prince, Fix It Grammar. This is a very easy, maybe like 10 minutes a day max, maybe even less some days. But the IEW course covers writing at a more advanced level. I appreciate the hand holding throughout the whole process and all the steps. He's very used to it now. He's been doing it for so many years that the process for structure is very familiar to him. So now he's really enjoying adding his style to his writing. So I'm looking forward to that. I feel like the first couple years were pretty challenging, but now you can see the fruit of that labor, and he's really starting to flourish in his writing. In addition, and this one I was not so sure about, we are going to continue on. This is the plan so far, but we will see, is to continue on with LLATL with the gray book. And he has been using this since the orange book, I believe he started with, and moved through the levels, and now the gray book. So the reason why I wasn't sure, it was basically like, does he need this? For my older daughter, she stopped at the green book, which is the 7th grade level, and then in 8th grade we took the IEW public speaking course. And that public speaking course was harder for me to manage because there wasn't like a live class to go with that. For that one, it was a lot of me holding her accountable to the assignments, which was a little tough for me at the time, managing the 3. So it didn't go the way that I wish it could have if I had a lot more time and energy to invest into that one. I do like the structure of this. It's simple. He knows how to do it. I just wasn't sure if it was necessary. So we are going to start with this. We'll see how it goes. My other thought was pulling more literature, so that not working so much on these skills, because he has worked on these for so many years along with Fix-It Grammar and IEW. My other thought was pulling books that are just great literature for his age and for his level, and just kind of talking through that. He has a reading journal that he fills out every time he finishes a book. That was my other thought. My fear though is without like a plan, I don't know how well we would execute that. I just don't know if I trust myself with that. I have this already, so we're gonna start with this. I might add in literature here and there. We do skip the writing portions, any of the lengthy writing projects in here, because he does IEW, so we just work on the daily skills 5 days a week. And now for science, we are moving through the Artesia series. This past year he finished general science and he used the self-paced version, which was a gift, very helpful with audio and visual support and grading of the tests, and it was just exactly what we needed for this past year, and it really helped him to stay accountable, stay interested, and also with the reading to come to life. We had the lab kit from Nature's Workshop, and he was able to do the labs on his own. I was really blessed to see him flourish in science this past year. And so the next one up from general science is physical science. This is the updated version. It looks intense, but so did general science. But as I really look through the book, it is definitely something he can handle and is ready for. And it will be a step up, but in a great way. I also will be checking out the self-paced course for this because it worked so well last year. I have the lab kit ready to go, and I'm just excited and hopeful that this will be similar to last year, where how smoothly that went. I do have a discount code for you for Artesia that you're welcome to use down below. And for history, we are going to be studying modern American and world history. This is from Beautiful Feet Books, and this one is just so chock full of so many activities and readings. There's a lot of rabbit trails. So here's an example of like the rabbit trail section. This is another area where I can easily go through this and find additional books, like I mentioned, that I wanted to give him as independent readers. So I love that they have these rabbit trail sections, and it gives not only titles and photos, but also descriptions of what that story is about. So that will help me determine like which books he might be the most interested in. There are also some recipes in here. One of the things that I appreciate from this teacher guide is that they include reading comprehension questions. So you are reading the literature, but there's always like, I don't want them to just tell me what they read. I also want to check, do they pick up on some of the important historical context? What's going on in that time period exactly, and why people made decisions that they did? So these questions are really helpful in guiding the discussions. There's also these kind of like call outs in the blue sections that just give you a little bit more. This is a short bio on Mother Teresa and Neil Armstrong and the Cold War. Also some photos. Here's another recipe. And then in the back, they provide all of the answers to those comprehension questions, which is helpful too. In tandem with that modern American world history, we are going to be reading some biographies of some people from modern American history, notable figures. This is the one we'll read first at my daughter's request on Laura Ingalls Wilder. I do have a bundle that is a discounted and free shipping bundle for $30 for multiple chapter books, all on modern American history, heroes of history, and that is available down below. In addition, we are going to pull back and do a little unit on the Holocaust, and I feel like this is a good age. We're going to go a little bit deeper into that. This study from Beautiful Feet does cover part of that, so we are going to just pause when we hit that and do a unit from Campfire Curriculums on the Holocaust, and I have to print and bind that and just kind of take a deeper look at that. What I saw online on the PDF, it looks beautiful and well done and very thought-provoking, and that's something that I've been looking forward to going through with my kids. So these books we're going to probably read in our morning time, read aloud morning time. I say morning time, but it's really whenever we have time. It could be afternoon or evening. And those are my picks for my 8th grader so far. Things can always change. I am debating whether or not to add a foreign language in there. I'm not going to give him foreign language credit until 9th grade officially. It is nice to have something going. We are doing a very fun Spanish 1 curriculum in the morning, very gentle, very designed for young kids, but I just love to do it with my kids. So much fun. We have a blast doing it. He was taking an online ASL course course last year and enjoyed that. So I'm not sure. He's like torn between ASL and Spanish, like not sure which language he wants to kind of focus on to go deeper into his high school years. So I'm not sure about it yet. If you have any suggestions on a foreign language course that is fun, I'm not going to take it for credit, so it doesn't need to be that deep, but something that would kind of whet his appetite and also help him be decisive of which language to choose for his 9th grade year. As usual, I will be working in individual one-on-one reads with my son. My husband also does that once a week. He goes through some books with my son once a week. I always have a little stack of books that I'm reading with my son twice a week. So we're currently working through the 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens slowly. We just read a little section each time. So we'll continue that throughout the year. I have some links and discount codes. Everything will be in the description along with this comfy whole outfit. I have a 10% off discount code down below for that as well. And I hope sharing these curriculum choices gives you some inspiration, ideas, and maybe some things to research. Let me know if you have any questions about this in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.